o'clock in Pirate Country, and it's time to get pumped up with the P-Man. Hit the door and hit the road. 94.3 The Game is going to get you home, and the P-Man's not holding back.
Yes! Yes! Pirates win! Pirates win!
Bring on the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Holy mackerel! Oh, my goodness!
The flagship station of the ECU Pirates.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome into the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game and 94.3thegame.com. Breaking news. First, we say hello to our crew who's here today. In from the Working Man's Beach after a weekend down at Surf City, the one and only Philip the Ref Pilkington is here. Hello, Pilk.
Hey, P-Man. How's it going?
Good. Oh, we got a three-way shot. And then William Grover is producing the show today, which frightens the hell out of me. But Grover's going to be producing. The producer's going to be Grover's going to be producing this week. William, by the way, did something that Pilk never does. Although he sent me the wrong stuff, he sent me the entire postgame. The entire postgame for ECU baseball on Sunday.
I
Which
figured
is more than I can
at
say
least
you
one
do,
part
Bill.
of it had to be helpful.
Not really. But you at least sent it, so thank you for doing that. I appreciate that, buddy. I appreciate that. By the way, confirmed we are going to be out. Oh, what's that? Pilk, what's going on?
The bed was not over. That is on me.
Pilk, are we going off the rails? I guess not. Some breaking news. Justin Tucker has been released by the Ravens. Guys, let's see you. Let's get a little reaction from Mr. Sports, Philip Pilkington.
Everyone, a little breaking news for you.
Hey, Mr. Sports doesn't have to play him twice a year. Williams' team does have to play him twice a year.
Right.
So that's good. However, the guy they drafted was out there kicking 75-yard field goals the other day and just drilling them. So Grover, the greatest kicker of all time, has been released, and you don't have to play him anymore. Not that he was probably breaking your hearts anyways, because I'm sure the Ravens just probably beat your Brownies by 40 because they're terrible, but haven't been good since Bernie Kosart was a quarterback. However, now you don't have to play him anymore, but it sounds like this new guy's just as good.
I don't think the kicker is going to make a difference between the Browns and the Ravens having a win or loss for either team. I think the Browns have a lot bigger problems right now regarding their quarterback and running back situation. So once they figure that out and can find a way to consistently win, then we can worry about the Ravens kicker.
Yeah, you do. You got Shador, baby.
By the way, for Tucker, this is not a happy ending. That was good.
that
was good.
That was good. So
that
is this
was
the same
good.
as the Deshaun thing? Is that kind of what I'm getting from this, roughly?
I think that's the reason you release a guy who's the one of the all-time, if not the all-time greatest kicker.
Okay.
That's the reason I think you do that, Pilk. I think they put out a sugary statement about football being a tough business. Hey, congratulations to ECU softball, Shane Winkler. They got a sweep this weekend. Looked really good in doing it. Oh, before we get into that, Pilk, and I know we got to kind of hustle today. We got Garrett Wingate coming up at the bottom of the hour. He's going to be with us, the new Aiden Grifton football coach. We should have got him on a while ago, but it's the way it is. So we're going to get him at the bottom of the hour. Cliff Godwin, in the interview that we did earlier today, Stephen Igo and I did, we'll get into as much of that as we possibly can in our next segment. How was the Working Man's Beach, Pilk? There's holes in the ceiling at Casa de Johnson, so I'm not able to be there. But what is your thought on this after your weekend at Surf City and the Working Man's Beach?
It was great. So when we entered, our house was slightly closer to Topsail, so we came over the Topsail Bridge. But I noticed those bridges do not get backed up quite like the ones like with Morehead City. I feel like it's a little more low-key. I like it. I like how the street, that main drag there is either 35 or 45. You don't have like blue-haired grannies rubbernecking down the street at 15 like you do, at Atlantic Beach and all that. So I really liked it. The people in the grocery store were nice, and people when we bought the bagels at the little breakfast place there were nice. I mean, obviously we were mostly hanging out in the
Did you go to the donut place beside the bagel place?
I did not. Should have went, but it's like whatever the rest
Good
of the bridal
donuts.
party was doing, we were doing as far as food goes. But
You mean the groomsmen party,
Well,
not the bridal? You weren't part of the bride's party.
There was one house. It was the whole wedding party was kind of all one house.
What?
Yeah.
Look, William? What do you make of that? That doesn't make sense to me. What are you new generation kids doing?
It's so that
You
we
have
could
separate-
have after party. We had an after party after the rehearsal dinner and an after party after the wedding. That obviously.
Wait a
the
minute, was
bride and
this a
groom weren't there
wedding?
for. Yeah.
Was this a wedding?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought these were the bachelor parties and
No.
bachelorette parties. Never mind.
No,
Never mind. That's
no,
fine.
this was
That's
the
fine.
wedding,
I
man.
thought these were the bachelor parties.
No, I went to
I'm
Colorado
told
for
we're-
the bachelor party in November.
The Always Anonymous text line says we're double sourcing, by the way.
Okay.
So let me know, Always Anonymous text liner, when we're not double sourcing. So ECU softball gets a win this weekend. Sweep, actually. Looked really good in doing so. North Texas had come in. They had been on the bubble of the NCAA tournament. Would have been a third team for the American if they had not won the tournament this week in Tampa. Would have had a great opportunity to get to the NCAA tournament. They were firmly on the bubble. I mean, depending on the projections going into last weekend, they were either firmly in or out, and they were among the first four out or the last four in. Pirates have probably dashed the hopes of the Mean Green as far as an at-large selection, with the sweep in Greenville, beating them on Friday and then winning a doubleheader on Saturday. ECU on to the conference tournament. Morgan Johnson, Mojo, smacked a couple of home runs on Saturday for ECU. She was named honorable mention this week by the AAC. And Taylor Apple also named an AAC honorable mention selection this week, as in the circle she fanned a season high, matching 9 as the Pirates swept the Mean Green. East Carolina baseball, the struggles continue. Sunday, they were walked off by Wichita State 8-7. Resulted in the team's fourth conference series setback in the last 5 weekends. Wichita State came in with the worst overall record of any team in the league, but ended with their second league series victory of the season. 2 of 3 from the Pirates. So yeah, that is the story there. We'll hear from Cliff Godwin. ECU officially eliminated from contention for a 6th straight conference regular season championship. UTSA with a 7-game lead over the Pirates with 6 conference games remaining. ECU will not have any midweeks this week and will host the Roadrunners in Greenville next weekend. Pirates are 27-21 and 11-10 in the American. Pill, correct me if I'm wrong, or William, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think 6th is where the Pirates sit right now as far as seeding, by virtue of being tied with
Tulane.
with
for
Tulane,
5th.
and Tulane
Yeah,
having won the series against them. Is that correct? Okay.
It is.
All right. Well, tell you what, why don't we go ahead and grab a break? I think we've got all of our issues settled just in time for the Cliff Godwin interview. By the way, did you guys watch the Derby, Pilk? Derby?
Pilk is walking back into the studio, but I am sure that
Okay.
he watched the Derby. And
Did you
I
watch
did.
the Derby?
I did. My
Okay.
horse that I bet on actually won.
What?
Yeah, Sovereignty, or I think that's how you say it, Sovereignty.
Yeah. Is that right? Sovereignty? Really? Pilk, did you watch the Derby?
Pilk is here. He said that he did watch the Derby. Pilk, which
Okay.
horse did you have winning?
I was trying to watch it during the dinner part of the wedding, so I just kind of was casually had it on my phone. I didn't really put any stock.
So did
into
you
it.
have it on, how did you stream it, Pilk? On what?
Wags had his
Peacock?
phone and had the NBC Sports app or the Peacock app or
Okay.
something.
All right. How did you watch it, William?
I was on the golf course, so also through the app.
Okay. So, where is this story? Why is it not on here? Oh, here it is. So it was the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby. Big draw on television. 17.7 million viewers watched on NBC and Peacock Saturday. That's the largest TV audience since NBC took over the broadcast rights in 2001, and was the largest audience they've had since 1989. How about that? All right, let's hit a break. We'll come back. Cliff Godwin, Garrett Wingate, Dr. Garrett Wingate. A little later on in the hour, we'll talk with him, the new Aiden Grifton coach. Tomorrow, Shane Winkler And Brian LeBlanc will be with us. Midweek, Brian Moll will be back. We got other great guests planned. We'll be at the Wood Ducks game. Excuse me, not the Wood Ducks, the new minor league team in Kinston. We'll be there for them outside of the stadium as they get ready to take on and start a new season. So we'll have that coming up end of the week. So it's a busy week here on the Patrick Johnson Show. Stay with us. We will return right after this. Bird Dogs, that's what it is. Bird Dogs. I was looking for it, scrambling for it. It's the Bird Dogs. All right, we'll be right back right after this with Cliff Godwin.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
Are you ready to tackle those yard and garden projects? Come by East Carolina Tractor and Fleet, your local Coyote dealer, and check out their great selection of residential and commercial Coyote tractors. From zero-turn mowers to compact tractors to skid steer loaders, they've got you covered. Some with 0% financing for qualified buyers. Stop by your hometown Coyote dealer, East Carolina Tractor and Fleet, across from the Pitt County Fairgrounds or online at ectfleet.com. East Carolina Tractor and Fleet. We dig dirt.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout Eastern North Carolina. Get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
Sometimes you just don't know if you want to kiss him or slap him.
Ow!
Either way, he'd probably like it. The Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Head coach Cliff Godwin of Pirate Baseball joining Stephen Igo and yours truly, Patrick Johnson, here, our weekly conversation with the coach. We appreciate Cliff joining us here after the Pirates go out and lose a tough series to Wichita State. We'll talk about it. Big win against Elon, middle of the week, and exams will be wrapping up this week. So it's kind of a wonky time of year. Cliff, thanks for the time as always. Just kind of a review of last week. Good win out at Elon. And then you were in every game, by and large, over the weekend.
Yeah, we won at Elon. We pitched really good, played good defense, didn't do much offensively, but did enough, and won 4-2. Get out to Wichita State, have a good practice. Norby's scheduled to go on Friday. Norby is sick on Friday, can't go. So we have to start Brad Pruitt, and weren't expecting him to go long because really he's a reliever by trade. Not that he won't be able to start one day, but just to open the game. And we give up one, I think, in the first infield single, and a run scores, no big deal. And then the second we go out and get the first two guys out in like 4 pitches, and then we throw 10 straight balls, and really still could have got off the field. We walked three guys in a row, and we don't cover first base, and then the wheels fall off. We give up a 4 spot, and that's really the most frustrating thing is we beat ourselves. We don't let the other team beat us, and
Yeah.
that was the same thing on Sunday. And I'm sure people are saying, well, that's a reflection of coaching. And if that's the case, then that's on me. We do coach those things and the little things. And we have done a good job at times, like we did on Saturday. I mean, Saturday we played a really, really good baseball game. And if, people from the past watched us play on Saturday, they'd say, well, man, that's a Cliff Godwin, East Carolina coach team. Norby was awesome. The defense was awesome. We had tough at bats, and it wasn't like we hit a ton of home runs. Colby hit one, but we just really grinded out at bats, and I think we scored 6 runs. And then yesterday we get out and score first run in the first, and things are smooth. Sean Jenkins wasn't really sharp, and we got to continue to get him back to the level he was in the fall and the way he was at Charlotte. And kid's working his tail off, but he's just still a little bit off. And so we go to the bullpen, and we're up a run, and we don't execute. I think it's an 0-2 to 1-2 pitch, which end up being singles. And well, that can happen at times, but then we walk the next guy, and bases loaded. We bring in Nick Moran, and the guy bunts, and Walker knows it's a forced play, but in the moment he doesn't act like a first baseman. He tries to tag the guy, and of course it's ruled an out on the field, and they overturn it after review, and we give up a big inning. I mean, the game wasn't lost in the 9th inning yesterday. It was lost in whatever inning that was, the 4th. And our guys did battle back, and we tie the game, but the game knows, and we just didn't play clean enough baseball to be able to win the game yesterday.
Coach Cliff Godwin joining Steve and Igo and myself here as we talk Pirate baseball. You mentioned Jenkins, and I want to follow up with him in a second. But another freshman that has pitched really well, 2 great outings, 4 of his last 5 outings, he's really been very, very good, is Bradley Zayak. And he seemed to give you a little bit of obviously pitched well at Elon. I think I had 5 strikeouts in that game, but really did a fine job of kind of giving you a little bit of a lift yesterday and keeping it where you guys could get back in it.
Yeah, he's been awesome. And, he's going to pitch in the rotation this weekend coming up. I don't know what day, but the guy's going to be in the rotation because he's earned that for sure. And as I told our team yesterday, a lot of criticism has gone to the younger guys. The only reason we're in the damn game yesterday is because of the freshmen. Burris, Austin Irby, Drew Downs, and Zayak. That's why we were in the game yesterday. And those guys played their tails off, and they're getting better, and that's the cool thing to see with this group, injured group, a group that has been handed a lot of adversity. The freshmen are getting better, and that's a good thing to see.
Yeah, absolutely. With Sean Jenkins, I think he reclassified. So I mean, he's younger than the average freshman. I mean, he should be truly in his senior year, getting ready for the playoffs right now. So, that's the intriguing thing when you're covering, and I'm sure coaching a freshman. I mean, this time of year, guys are getting ready for the postseason. They're getting ready if they're seniors to graduate. They're dealing with the prom. I mean, it's a much different animal from a year ago for a lot of these freshmen.
Sean is younger than any of the incoming freshmen for next year's class. Put that just kind of put that in perspective. So he just turned 18 a couple weeks ago. I don't know the exact date. So, but Sean works his tail off. He cares as much as any player that I've ever coached, and sometimes that can kind of work against him. But he continues to work hard, and he's going to be great for us moving forward for sure.
Cliff Godwin is with us on this Monday, and Coach, we saw Ethan Norby back-to-back really strong outings, this time in a starter's role. And you mentioned the sickness. Unfortunately, that led to another Friday night or a series opener where y'all didn't get much length. But just how big was Norby on Saturday? And it feels like he's starting to maybe get over that midseason slump if you want to term it that. But just it's something a lot of pitchers go through that first time as a full-time starter.
Yeah, he was tremendous. He was really, really good, and had 4 pitches going for him, and just smothered Wichita State. And the thing that if you didn't watch the game, I mean, our defense was really good early. Like Kobe Wallace made some unbelievable plays. Irby made some unbelievable picks at first base, and really the game could have been different. I mean, Norby would have had a pitch with some traffic if we hadn't made some of those web gems early. And then we just, scratched out runs here and there offensively. I think we scored in 5 of the 9 innings that we had on Saturday, which is Pirate baseball for sure. So it was just a really, really clean game.
You mentioned the mistakes that added up in the loss, Coach. Obviously, the 2 dropped fly balls in Sunday's game. And I don't know, do you coach that harder? The kind of fluky things too. Do you try to make it less of a mental thing so it doesn't get in somebody's head? I don't know. How do you address something like that where it's a play a guy makes probably 99 of 100 times?
Well, the first one didn't hurt us because they lined into a double play. Burris just went back on the ball to start with, and then just was out of control coming in on the ball, and it just healed him. AP's a great defender. Put him in the game. It was actually a last-minute thing. I was actually getting ready to put Davin Whitaker in right field, but I wanted to have his bat because he had faced that righty that was on the mound on Friday night. So felt like that was a good matchup for us offensively, when we came back in the top of the 10th. But, of course, it didn't work out well for us. And, we weren't trying to intentionally walk the second guy of that inning. We were trying to get him to bunt, but we walk him, and they just put you in a bind. And hey, kudos to them. They run a slash, and we're running a bunt crash defense. And, they hit a ground ball through the 6 hole, and game's over. So, like I said, it wasn't lost in the 9th inning, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to say that. It was lost in the inning that we didn't execute two strike pitches, and you got 2 freebies in there, and we don't act like a first baseman as a catcher. I mean, there's a slew of things if you do one thing right there. Man, it's a totally different game, and we win the game, and everybody feels different, but that's not what happened. And, we've been challenged as much as any team at ECU since 2017. And if people think that we're not trying or we're not working, they've lost their mind. So we're going to continue to fight. This week we have exams. We're in the middle of exams even during the weekend. So some guys had some exams they had to take on Friday morning before the game. But we'll give them today and tomorrow off from practice, and then we're going to actually practice and scrimmage on Wednesday and practice on Thursday, and then be ready for UTSA this weekend.
Coach, you mentioned it there, but it's been 8 years since you guys have not been in at-large contention at this point. So, I mean, it's been a long time. And how do you guys as coaches, do you I don't know, take anything differently down the stretch here in terms of trying to give guys, I don't know, any rest on the mound or anything like that, or you just approach it like you still got to win every game 100 miles an hour? Is there any change in that approach?
I mean, look, man, we probably have to still win some games to be sure we're in the conference tournament, which is different than 17. There was only 8 teams, and we finished dead last. Then we started out 0-10 in the conference. Actually, Franny asked me this past weekend, how did we navigate, the last weekend series in 17 going into the conference tournament? And I said, well, I looked at Jacob Wolf in front of the entire team on Wednesday night after practice, and I said, hey, Wolf, you're going 100 pitches tomorrow, whether that's 3 or 7. So whenever you hit 100, I'll come get you. And, we threw Kirk Morgan on the Saturday game, which was game 3, and Kirk Morgan threw, I think, 86 pitches, 8 innings. It was unbelievable. And we beat Mason Fioli, who was the freshman pitcher of the year, with basically our players from off the bench. I mean, Nick Barber started at shortstop. Brady Lloyd started in left field. Wes Phillips started at second. And I think Charlie Jorgen started at third. Washer had his first start behind the plate. So we played all the guys that normally don't play. And then we had a lead and, put some of those guys in at the end of the game. But, yeah, we'll definitely have to rest some of our pitching, the last weekend. But in front of our home crowd, senior weekend this weekend against UTSA, we need people to come out and support Riley Johnson and Jake Hunter for sure. I mean, their last games ever to be played at Clark LeClaire Stadium, before, I guess, Campbell on Tuesday. But senior weekend, and we'll be ready to go with UTSA. And obviously, it's going to be a very, very big challenge for us, but we will not back down.
Cliff Godwin joining Stephen Igo and myself. Physically, how is Riley? And just not that there's anything wrong, but just physically at this point in the year, we've marveled at what Jake Hunter's done. But how's Jake feeling? I guess right now.
Patrick, there is something wrong with Riley Johnson. That's why he
No,
doesn't play on Sunday.
I said with Jake Hunter. If I wasn't clear, let me be clear. I know there's nothing that's wrong with Hunter, but I mean, I'm just curious how he's feeling, after what he's been through. And then Riley Johnson, obviously there is, that's why I asked about Riley.
Yeah, well, that's how you start it with Riley. So there's something wrong with Riley. Normally, I guess right now, he just can't go 3 days in a row. You could tell at the end of Saturday's game that it was coming to an end, and hindsight's 2020. You're trying to win the game. Could have taken him out the last 3 innings probably, but we wanted to make sure we would win one game there on that Saturday. And he woke up yesterday morning just not able to go, and Mike could have gone an inning or two yesterday, but I just didn't want to put him at risk to be out for the rest of the season if we weren't going to for sure win the game. So we didn't put him in yesterday. Jake Hunter has felt fine. I think he has had as much rest the past couple weeks as he's had in a long time, just with the way his rehab protocol from a throwing standpoint. So he was really good. I guess that was on Saturday, or Friday. I can't remember. The days are running together, but he was really good for us. Friday, yep.
Cliff Godwin with us here. So with, to kind of pick up on what Igo was talking about there, does this give you a chance? Because once they get through exams, I mean, this is an obviously, mentally kind of challenging time. Do you look at this as, okay, we got a chance for a reset here with plenty of runway still ahead of us going into the postseason, because it's nothing but baseball after this week?
Yeah, I think academics is probably a lot easier today than it was pre-COVID, and that's just my opinion. And I wouldn't just say that for East Carolina, say it for everywhere. A lot of online classes. I mean, some of our guys are actually done, not many, but some of our guys are done with exams already, which I think exams run through Wednesday. Thursday might be the last day, but I don't think academics is as challenging as it was 5-6 years ago. So a lot of our guys have done really well academically, of course. So, but we'll give them these first 2 days off, and then, like I said, we'll practice and scrimmage on Wednesday and practice on Thursday, and then get ready for UTSA this weekend.
Dixon with another really solid week for you, multiple hit games, I think in 2 of the 4 last week, and he just continues to play very well for you. What growth did you see in Dixon from where, we had talked about him coming out of the Tulane weekend in the last week out of the Wichita State weekend? What are some of the things you've observed?
He's just been getting ready to hit a little bit earlier. I think he was, a little bit passive at times and a little bit late timing wise. If you don't get ready to hit as a hitter, you don't get to visually see the ball as good as you need to see it. And so sometimes you'll make, just late decisions. And he's just done a better job of looking for his pitch, where he's looking for it, and, getting a swing off. I think the past 2 weeks he's been really, really good for us offensively. And, we'll need that down the stretch for sure.
Coach, you look at this, this stretch run. Obviously, we talked about where you guys are at from an at-large perspective, and this may be more of a postseason question, but we get a lot of big picture questions, as you would imagine, in a season like this. I don't know, what have you learned over this season about your team, the direction of college baseball going, or is this more of something you want to address after the season, as far as kind of lessons as a staff you guys might have learned dealing with this year?
I'm going to try to keep my composure with this question, because I know that there's people out there that think I should just, open up the checkbook and pay players a ton of money. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. And this year has been the perfect storm. I mean, it's kind of like 17, and no, we're not packing the season in. But when you have 2 weekend rotation arms that haven't thrown one pitch, and Ryan Towers and Antolik will not throw a pitch for us this year. Braxton Trammell will probably not play this year because unless we win the conference tournament, there might be an outside chance. Your Rawlings Gold Glover has played in maybe 4 or 5 games and not been 100%. Like, what team could survive that and be the team that everybody wants them to be? And you're running out 4 or 5 freshmen, which, you know what? If it takes us to lose this year so people will come back and be hungry and what it took in 17 for us to have the run we have, then maybe we needed that. I don't know. But at the end of the day, we're going to continue to show up every day. We're going to commit to the standards of ECU baseball. And I know everybody's worried about everybody leaving off our team because we didn't have a great team. Hey, our core group will be back next year. And you can put that and write it in your little books of everybody. Our core group that everybody's worried about leaving will be back next year. So at the end of the day, we got games to play this year. And I don't want to address this stuff anymore, but some of those people out there need to hear that. And we'll be ready on Friday night. And what we need Pirate Nation to do is to show up and be loud and support our guys and for us to play good baseball down the stretch.
Well, I appreciate the answer, Coach. I know I had to ask something about just the big picture of it.
I know.
It's been a
I can't
challenging season
imagine.
for everybody.
You know what's really frustrating is I can't get our kids to get off Twitter. I'm in the flight going to Wichita, and one of our freshmen scrolling through Twitter, and I go, "Man, what an idiot!" Like, you guys are gonna. You think they're saying anything good about you guys on Twitter for all places? Like, that's the thing that I just. Man, it's been hard for those young guys because they're on it. And as much as I educate them about it, I mean, that's the life they live. That's the generation they were raised in. And you've got these dumb people that have no idea what's going on in our program. Really, they have an outside view, but they're not in the weeds every day about what's going on and what the work we put in. And it's easy to be very critical when things aren't going well. But I tell you this, you better be careful what you ask for because, man, we've had a hell of a run here the past 8 years. Man, it has been one of the most special runs that's ever happened in ECU baseball. And we will get back to where we have been, I promise you, because I'm not going anywhere.
Cliff Godwin with us. Last thing for you, Coach. Obviously, you mentioned exams, but look, you look at this year's standings. One game basically separates second through sixth. I know y'all probably don't look at that too much, but still a lot to play for there. And UTSA coming to town. So over these last 6 conference games and Campbell as well, last 7 games, just how important are these to close out the season the right way going into that conference tournament?
It's like I told them, last week, we got to start playing consistent baseball, not just one day. We got to put some good quality days together. You can't just get to the conference tournament and go, hey, let's flip the switch and let's learn how to play consistent baseball. I mean, you guys have seen at times we can beat anybody in the country, and then the next day we could lose to anybody in the country. And that's been the biggest challenge for this team, to mentally be focused and dialed in. If you just seen us play on Saturday, you'd be like, man, they're really, really good. If you had to look at our record, man, those guys can pitch. They can really play defense. They can execute offensively. Man, that's a winning team. And then if you watch us play on Friday and Sunday, you'd be like, man, that's why their record is the way it is. And we've got to get just a little bit better in, all 3 phases. And on any given day, we can beat anybody in the country if we play great.
Cliff Godwin with us here, and you can always listen to that complete interview at the IBX Media app. All right, let's hit a break, and when we come back, we're going to have with us Garrett Wingate, coach of the Aiden Grifton football team. They're starting spring ball, so we'll talk to him about that, and we will have all of that when we come back to you after this. But first, an update here on the Patrick Johnson Show Monday.
Thank you, P-Man. Starting Pirate Athletics, as we just talked about with Coach Godwin, it was a rough weekend. Pirates dropped 2 out of 3 to Wichita State. They have the midweek off due to exams and will host UTSA this weekend. Softball was able to sweep North Texas. That locked them down as the number 6 seed in the American Athletic Conference Tournament. They will play their first game on Wednesday at 7 o'clock on ESPN+. They will get the winner of the early game between Memphis and UAB. That'll do it for 94.3 The Game Sports Flash Update and Pirate Report. We're going to take a time out here on the Patrick Johnson Show. Be back with Garrett Wingate right after this.
Hey, it's Jim Wells again with Wells Roofing and Gutters here in the beautiful community of Lindale, Bedford. At Wells Roofing and Gutters, we believe in quality first, and that's why we use CertainTeed shingles, which are manufactured in Oxford, North Carolina, a local company. In the event you ever do have a claim or a problem with your roof system, they're local and they come and take care of us in a timely manner. We could leave off some accessories and we could certainly save money, but we believe at Wells Roofing and Gutters in installing the correct way per manufacturer requirements, and we warranty your roof both in-house and also with our supplier, who is CertainTeed. For a job well done, no shortcuts taken, and a good quality job on your home, give us a call today, 252-227-8403. We also offer financing, 12 months, no interest, no payments.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors, with locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked to order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
Have you noticed he's in his own little happy hour? We're back to the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
This is the Happy Hour program.
Here's the P-Man.
All right. Thanks for being with us here today, live on this Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game, 94.3thegame.com, and the IBX Media app. Thanks to Cliff Godwin. Also, thanks to Stephen Igo. Right now, let's go to the phones. Garrett Wingate, a guy I've known for a good number of years. He's now the head coach at Ayden-Grifton. They've got a photo of Coach for our graphics, for our video audience, and he looks like he's about to go fishing in that, which is good. No fishing this time of year, though. You got to finish up the school year and spring ball happening right now for football. Garrett, nice to talk to you. Thanks for coming on the show. Sorry we hadn't spoken to you sooner, and congratulations on being the head coach.
Thank you, sir. It's so honor. I know if I get on the Patrick Johnson Show, I've done something right.
There you go. Well, look. Clip that pilk, and then let's invite Wingate back every week. So with Paul Cornwell getting promoted to county AD, you filled the role as the head coach. That has to be a great thrill for you. And Coach Cornwell has been there twice, but it's remarkable to me. Only 7 coaches in the history of Ayden-Grifton football as the head coach, and you're one of them.
I think that speaks to the volumes of Ayden-Grifton and the communities that make up the school. You know, we're growing. It's a great place to be. The community support has been amazing. And they're behind us and we're behind them, and they're ready to go, and so are we. We're going to get spring football kicked off here next week, getting everything ready this week. And so we're getting ready to hit the ground running.
You were the offensive coordinator this past year, and you had a quarterback that transferred in. That always helps to have a quarterback, and that's a big part of it. But you've also coached some pretty good quarterbacks the last couple of years. Rose as the OC, Northern Nash as the OC. So when you look at going to do what you want to do offensively, you obviously got to have the Jimmies and the Joes. But part of that is at the quarterback spot. How's that position looking for Aiden Grifton?
We're going to figure it out, and we got really good problems at Aiden Grifton right now. Our baseball team is going to be in the playoffs. We just finished up golf regionals today. We got people going to track and field regionals. We are busy. So that first week, we're going to have mostly just our football kids. That second week, we're going to get everybody back for the most part. And that's when that quarterback battle and other key spots that we got to fill, that's when it will heat up. And we're going to see what we got. I know we got 3 kids that can do it. And, we're just going to throw them out there, put them to the fire, and see what they can do. It's their time to shine. On offense, we got 6 of the 11 returning, but we got to fill that quarterback position and our tight end position. And then on defense, we got 10 of 11 starters coming back. So we feel good on the defensive side. I'm going to have my work cut out for me on the offensive side, just figuring it all out and getting it all ready. But nothing that we can't do.
Do you plan on calling the plays?
I am. I'm going to stick with it. Our assistant coaches, we got great assistant coaches, Coach Brooks and Coach Tripp. They have kids that are in middle school, and they still play middle school football. So I feel like it's just good right now. Let's just keep things the way they are. Things are going good. It gives them a little bit more freedom to go watch their children play. I believe in a family program, number one. Family first, and then everything else comes second. So I want them to go see their kids play and develop that atmosphere, and we'll just keep it the way it is right now, and then we'll see what we got.
Garrett Wingate with us. When Paul Cornwell left, I believe North Pitt, I think he was the head coach at North Pitt and left. You were the coach on an interim basis after that. This was a little while ago. It's been a minute. How is Garrett Wingate? Of course, you're now Dr. Garrett Wingate, but how is Garrett Wingate different from the North Pitt version to today, you think?
I'll tell you, man, that was 2017. And I'd been at North Pitt for 5 years at that point in time. And that's where I graduated from. And I wanted to go back home and help as much as I could with Coach Bowl. And then we had Coach Wooten. And then Coach Wooten left us and went to Havelock. And they were like, well, you get to take over the program at North Pitt. I was like, wow, okay. 2 weeks before the season starts, take over there and do the best we can. And then at the end of the season, I had an opportunity to go to Rose. And I said, you know what? I could be at North Pitt for the rest of my life, or I could just go see what it's like out there in the high school world. And it's one of the best decisions I made is just going somewhere different. There's nothing wrong with home. I love home. Still love North of the River community. But it was just time to go experience and see, what do you really know? Challenge yourself. And that's what I did at Rose, and that led to a position at Northern Nash. And I think what it showed is that what I know and what I believe in, it does work. If you have the right talent and you have the right coaches and the right support staff and administration, it does work. And I think that's what I learned the most.
And when I said Cornwell, you played for Paul at North Pitt.
Yep.
So let me make that correction. Got some experience working with the football program at ECU, and you were an intern for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so when I was at East Carolina, worked in equipment as for Coach Holtz and Coach Ruff. I was really underneath Coach Hudson when it was Skip Holtz, and I was underneath Brian Mitchell with Coach Ruff. And just worked on the defensive side of the ball, scripted plays, helped on defense, all that stuff. And then had a chance in my graduate school program, had a buddy of mine who I worked with in equipment. He was like, hey, Tampa Bay's looking for some interns. And so I essentially applied. He called down there, and next thing I know, I'm at Tampa Bay, and that was Greg Schiano's first year. And that was an eye-opening, amazing experience. You see that football is just different. It is a business, and this is how businesses and professionalism, this is how it operates. And I think that's what you see now more in the college model anyway, with NIL and everything else. But it was just a great experience to learn this is what it looks like on this level. And football is football. The X's and O's don't change that much. But the way the administration and the way the people interact and plan, it is first class.
Garrett Wingate is the new head coach of Aiden Grifton. They'll be beginning spring ball next week. You all are going to be in the EPC still. It'll be you'll be 3A. It'll be a split 2A, 3A. Beddingfield, Farmville, so that's good. Kinston, Tarboro, they've been amazing, as you know. Green Central. So, from a kind of geographic sense, pretty good. Pretty good travel conference. From a competition standpoint, that's a darn tough neighborhood.
That's going to be fun. I think in any sport, basketball, especially football, you have some powerhouses in that conference. We're looking forward to it. Aiden Grifton, it was one of those things where they were like Tarboro and all these people. They were like, man, that's we haven't really played them in a conference. I said, well, I'm from North Pitt and I know all about it. Trying to stop Todd Gurley. It's bad when you lose to Tarboro 28-0 and Todd Gurley runs the ball 4 times and gets 4 touchdowns. So I'm familiar with Tarboro, but I tell you what, it makes really good football. I think the last conference loss, we looked at this, the last conference loss that Tarboro has is Kinston. This is like 2013, 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going back to the old EPC, and I tell you what, it was fun. We had some dog fights, but I know all the coaches. We all respect each other. We all want to put a great product on the field, and those Friday nights, they are electric because you never know what's going to happen.
And in order to get where you want to take the program and go, and there's been a lot of success at Aiden Grifton, you gotta play the best, and certainly you have some of the very best in that conference. But Tarboro has certainly been the best, one of the best teams in the East for sure over the last several years. When you I guess were asked about the position, what were some things you kind of considered? As where you are in the chapter in your life, or was it a pretty easy decision when presented an opportunity to be a head coach again?
Yes and no. Coach Cornwell, we wanted to work together. It'd been that way for actually about a decade, and we had tried to make things work, and it just never worked out. And he was in administration, and he called me and he said, "Hey, I'm thinking about going back into coaching. I'm going back to Aiden Grifton." And I jokingly said, "Hey, if you need an offensive coordinator, let me know." He's like, "I know you're joking." I said, "No, I mean, Aiden Grifton's closer to home. I was driving an hour to work, and I love Northern Ash. Coach Ferris and those people up there are amazing." But it was just, I was getting my doctorate. I was way too busy driving 2 hours every day. And I really wanted to see if we could build a program from the ashes. It had been a great thing, and they just went through a winless season, and that's no fault of the previous coach, Coach Light. That was just COVID and just a myriad of things that just happened. And I wanted to see, I know what I know can sustain success at the top level, but can we rebuild something? And that first year we won 3 games, had a chance to win 6. This previous year we won 8, conference champions, 3rd round of the playoffs. And it was just gratifying to know that, hey, this does work. What we do does work. And he left it in a great position. And he really included me in a lot of the things that we were doing. So it didn't really feel foreign. Now, did I want to be a head coach again? Yes. But I had no plans on being it yet. I was like, whatever happens, happens. I'm happy doing what I'm doing. And then Coach Cornwell got this opportunity, and it all went by pretty quickly. And I said, well, I helped build it. I might as well stay. So here we are.
Hey, what is your doctorate in?
Kinesiology.
Whoa. All right. Pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a glutton for punishment. I started during COVID, and then I'm coaching at Rose. I was like, I don't even know if I have time to coach. I'm getting this doctorate, and then all of a sudden, Brian's like, hey, come coach with us and Coach King. I'm like, okay, I can't help it. I got the bug. I can't get rid of it. I'll figure it out. Time management. Yeah, man, we go to the state championship, and then I'm like, okay, well, okay, that was over, and then we go to Northern Nash. We go to the state championship. Oh my goodness, how am I going to do this doctorate? I'm struggling, and I do well, but it's just I can't spend the time on it. But it was good, finished up, and my key or what I research on is just player safety in high school athletics, especially football. How are we doing?
Gotcha.
And where are we going? Are we taking care of our players?
Do you feel like that is the case?
Yeah, I do. I think our head coaches do a very good job of coaches' education. Specifically, I studied on helmet fit, People don't think about this,
Mhm.
but when you go to college and you go to the NFL, we have specific equipment managers and trainers that fit the football players. And they make sure their helmets fit and they make sure everything's right. They make sure everything's buckled up. In college or the pros, when you see a player get hit, their helmet comes off. You see somebody run to them as soon as the play's over. They check that helmet, make sure everything's okay. In high school, that doesn't exist. It's all the head coach. The liability, the responsibility, the burden all falls on the high school head coach. So we're doing a good job as head coaches. But I would love to see us get more advanced than the assistant coaches and everybody else just trying to take that burden off the head coach. But overall, we're doing good. We are much safer than we ever have been. Concussions are declining. We're really taking care of the kids in a very good sense. Helmets are getting better. We have less contact in practice. And I really think we're making good strides since where we were, a decade ago.
Garrett Wingate, Dr. Garrett Wingate, with us here on the Patrick Johnson Show. Princeton is on the clock. That's who you guys will open with on the road. Tough place to go play.
Yeah.
But
You're right. But hey, we get to go play on some turf and stop that single wing.
Yeah. Get to see the single wing and play on some turf. So there you go.
That's right.
Garrett Wingate. That'll be fun. All right. Garrett Wingate, Aiden Grifton head football coach. We'll talk to you before the season. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. I really mean that, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Absolutely, man. Thank you. Always a pleasure.
All right, there he goes, Garrett Wingate. Come back and wrap up the show right after this.
Your roof is a vital part of protecting your home and family from dangerous storms and hurricanes. At Assist Roofing, we install and maintain metal roofing that provides precise protection. Add value to your home while lowering utility costs with a fortified roof to last a lifetime. With 0% financing, grants, and Energy Star Green Roofing tax credit available. Call us to schedule a free consultation so you can weather any storm with confidence.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in Color and let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
If you are interested in living longer and living stronger, Eastern Physical and Lifestyle Medicine is accepting new patients for a limited time. Finding a caring physician can be a challenge. Dr. Billy Smith is board certified in physical medicine and lifestyle medicine and has been practicing in the area for many years. Call for an appointment now to Eastern Physical and Lifestyle Medicine, 252-364-1108 in Greenville. That number again is 252-364-1108.
Looking for a great deal on a new Nissan?
At Greenville Nissan, we've got a great selection of new Nissans for under $30,000.
The stylish Nissan Sentra, offering top-notch fuel economy. The Nissan Altima, known for its comfort and technology.
The Nissan Kicks, the perfect combination with its compact design and performance. The Nissan Versa, delivering incredible value without compromising on features. And don't forget the Nissan Rogue, an award winner for 10 years in a row. Drive it home just for $22 down and $349 a month.
Visit GreenvilleNissan.com today.
Greenville Nissan, where we drive to serve.
And now, the stunning conclusion of the show. It's the P-Man here on 94.3 The Game.
All right. Thanks to Garrett Wingate for being with us. Tomorrow on the program, let me get my roster list here. Let's see. Tomorrow on the program, Shane Winkler, Brian LeBlanc from Canes Country. We will have Brian Mole later on in the week. Pilk, do we have Wags? We got Wags later on in the week also?
Yeah, you and
Wags.
You and Dom have Wags on Thursday.
Okay, and we will be at the Bird Dogs opener on Friday for a live show at 5 o'clock. From 5 to 5:45, we'll lead you into ECU baseball that day, so that'll be a lot of excitement. Hope we get to speak to Sherry Massengale, who is an old friend. She's the GM of the Bird Dogs and has been in Kinston for a number of years with baseball. Also been around in Georgia and was up in Holly Springs with that team there, the summer ball team, college summer ball team for a year. So looking forward to that. I have some other great guests, too, that we're going to be recording interviews with. I do not have – I do have the book here. Remember this, Pilk? We talked about it. We're supposed to talk to Jim Murphy at some point. He's written this book. This was the book that the guy for the Eagles was reading on the sideline during one of the games in the playoffs.
Playoff game, wasn't it?
Yeah. So we're going to talk to the author of that book. Hopefully we'll get that done. And we're efforting some other great pirate guests. I need to talk to you about that, Pilk. But we're doing all that. So there you go. Thanks for all the kind words. A lot of interaction on the Always Anonymous text line today. A lot of it positive, and we appreciate it very much. Big thanks to Cliff Godwin. Thanks to Steve and Igo from Hoist the Colors, 247 Sports, Hoist the Colors Radio. Thanks to William Grover. Thanks to Philip the Ref Pilkington. Garrett Wingate, new Aiden Grifton coach. Thanks to him as well. See you tomorrow with Shane Winkler from Tampa and Brian LeBlanc ahead of the Canes and Capitals in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, plus everything else going on in the world of sports. Tomorrow morning, Talk of the Town back here, 5 o'clock, PJ Show.